Let's talk about drill bits. Drill bits can be made of different kind of material. We have carbide, we have ceramic, we have stone, we have diamond, we have sand bands with a mandrill, we have buffing bits, silicone bits, chamois bits. I specifically learned how to pronounce this word for this webinar. So which ones will work for dry manicure? Of course, diamond bits are the most popular bits to work with a dry manicure. This picture is just an example of how diamond bits look like, okay? Guys, seriously, that's very important. I'm not saying that all these types that you can see on this picture right now are okay for dry manicure. Absolutely not, okay? This is just the material which is okay to use for a dry manicure. We will talk about which bits specifically later. Diamond bits, they're all different. And there are some diamond bits that are not of a very good quality. Usually, if you will take a look at the sand, you know, at the grain they're made of, like right here. Well, yeah, this is the printed picture, so maybe you cannot really see it here. But if you see that these particles, the diamond particles, they are pretty even, you know, they look pretty much similar, then it may be a good quality. But sometimes, even without using any kind of magnifying glass, you know, just by looking with your naked eye, you can literally see something like this. Like these particles, these grains, they're so different. Once you see that, please do not use this kind of diamond bits. Unfortunately, I've seen this a lot. Once you turn, let me give you an actual example. Okay, so this is the diamond bit. I just sterilize it, that's why it's this one. So if I start rotating it, so this is a good quality bit. See, we can see that all particles are pretty much even. Well, I mean, to see it actually, you probably need like a extremely good magnifying HD. You may not be able to see it during the live stream because, right, the quality of the video is still limited. But in the real life, just take a closer look, or you can use a magnifying glass if you want. And you will immediately see, once the bit is not very good quality, you can just see that this particle is like this one like this. When it's like that, what's going to happen? Once you apply pressure on the skin, on the nail, these parts are just going to scratch the surface. Well, right here we have nothing. Okay, but once the surface is even, the entire surface is going to work, and whether remove the cuticles or push them back or whatever we are intending to do. Then we have stone bits. These bits are also very good for Russian manicure, but one of disadvantages is they're pretty hard to find. There's not that much a variety of the shapes and sizes. It's pretty limited. And also, unlike diamond and any kind of metallic bits, these ones are made of stone, which is porous. So in order to properly sterilize it, you need to own whether a dry heat sterilizer or an autoclave. So if you do not own it, I may suggest you to not use it, or maybe if you are like using it only for yourself, then it's okay. Then we have sand bits and mandrill. Well, we can use them for e-file manicure, but in my opinion, it's very rare where you really need them. I'm using this kind for men's manicure because men have a thicker skin, and usually it's very helpful, but most of the times you don't really need it because it's still very coarse for our skin, and especially nail plate. And also there's not that much a variety of shapes. Usually it's just this drum shape is the one that you can find. Or sometimes it's not just the drum, there's also the rounded part on the top. Then we have buffing bits. Well, these bits are also really good for the manicure. I call it buffing the cuticle. When you already have finished your manicure and the skin looks already pretty nice, but you want this part to be even smoother, to be all nice and clean, then you can use the buffing bit. I believe, yeah, I have it here. to buff the cuticle. So the material they're made of, I believe it's kind of the same as stone, but it's very, very soft. It's almost impossible to overfile a nail with it. Well, I mean, you still can, okay? There's nothing impossible like that. You can overfile it with a diamond bit as well. But it's very, very soft. So it's just great for working on a thin, on sensitive skin, because it's not as coarse as even stone bits. But once again, those are not the easiest ones to find, and also there's not that much variety of shapes. Pretty much is whether the triangle one or the rounded one on the top. Then we have chamois, and this kind is mostly for natural nail care when you are not going to do any kind of overlay. Some clients just want natural nails. So you may use cuticle oil, or there are special buffing creams, like there's one by Hand and Nail Harmony, there's one by Peach Shine, by Super Nail. You take this special kind of treatment, this buffing cream, apply it on the nail, then you use this chamois buffer, and the nails have this super shine, but they also have some parts of this, it's something like wax, and it's sealed in the top layers of the nail that kind of keeps them whole. That's kind of cool, but it's not working for any kind of enhancement if you're going to do, if you're doing an enhancement, overlay, or extensions, because once you do that, it's the same as if you have nails buffed to a high shine. There's no adhesion, okay? Adhesion and the shine, they're never going to be friends. And then we have an Oni Clean, also called Safe Bit or Safety Bit. Also kind of hard to find, but I actually found some even on Amazon. You can just simply search it. And I believe Red Iguana have one. So this kind of bit, if you will take a close look at this, you will see that it doesn't really have any kind of abrasive on it. It doesn't have any particles, any sand or flutes. It's just like a solid surface. It's usually made of medical steel, and it's great for super sensitive clients, for damaged cuticles. I use this one a lot with my client Anna, who has short beaten nails. So this is the one you may also need. So which ones will work for dry manicure? That's the summary we just went through each of them. So we can use diamond, stone, sand beads, buffing beads. We can use Oni Clean or Safety Bit, which is made of medical steel. We can use silicone beads and chamois beads. Well, the most popular and the ones that we use most of the time is definitely diamond, because it's just easier to find it on the market. There's so many variety of shapes and abrasive marks, and that's why we use it more often than any other kind. So what about abrasive marks? If you will take a look at the bits, sometimes they have an abrasive mark that is like that. Sometimes it's a plastic part on the bottom, but it refers to the abrasive, which is kind of the same that we have on files, right? We have 100 grit files, and we have 180 grit file. Which one is softer? 180. And 100 is more coarse compared to this one. And the same principle works with the bits, but we do not have numbers, we have just colors. So we have white, which is the softest, but pretty much you're not going to find it, so don't worry. Then we have yellow, which is super fine. Then we have red, which is medium fine or fine. Then we have blue, which is medium coarse, black, which is coarse, and double black is extra coarse. All these terms and words, they are all approximate, okay? Because what is super fine? What is fine? It's just, what you need to understand is that if you take blue drill bit from one manufacturer and red bit from the same manufacturer, then red is going to be softer, okay? Then blue is more coarse than red, definitely. But there's no like international standard. It doesn't mean that every single blue abrasive marked bit in the entire world will have exact the same particles. No, sometimes it may feel more coarse, sometimes it may feel softer. So which abrasive marks are okay for dry manicure? Yellow bits. These are very rare to find, so pretty much you cannot really find much shapes of them, but you can use them because it's soft. Red abrasive mark is the most common, the most popular, and the ones I use a lot for Russian manicure, so definitely look for this one. And then we have blue. Well, blue, in my opinion, should not be used too much. Use with caution, because blue is more coarse and, in my opinion, is suitable only for clients with really hard keratinized skin. It's good for men's manicure, and that's it. Because for most people, it will still be too coarse and it's super easy to overfile to damage it. If we go further, let's say black abrasive mark, then we have green, right? Then we have black abrasive mark. No, please do not use it. Like I found this picture, I believe, on Amazon of flame bit with a green abrasive mark, and the picture like they're intending to push back the aponicum. Please don't use it. Green is definitely too coarse for it. The only exception may be sometimes only for keratinized sidewalls, but only if they're like extremely keratinized, and also that's very rare. So pretty much you will not even need that. I would also like to give you a personal recommendation of what not to use. Please avoid using this. This is the set of diamond beads that usually come in this kind of box. I believe it's made in China, but I've seen them so much. I've seen some students taking it to their class. I've seen them, sometimes they come as the part of the e-file. I mean, they're included in the kit where you have an electric nail file and this kit. They're not a good quality, so I strongly recommend to not use them. And this kit also is not suitable for dry manicure. Like this one is probably the most popular kit ever that comes together with the electric nail file. And you know what's funny? I review electric files a lot, and I see it a lot. Electric nail file is okay, it's good, it's powerful, it's okay to use. But then I see this kit that I just, basically throw away. Well, I actually leave the sand bands. Sometimes I may use them for some things in art. But I mean, even from this picture, which is actually a bit grainy and not super high quality, but I can already see that these particles, they're not as even as they should be. So please do not use this one as well. What about ceramic beads? Ceramic beads are great for product removal. But as today our topic is dry manicure, which we refer to working on the skin and natural nail plate, then no, ceramic bead is too coarse for it. When do you use double black? Well, you can use it sometimes for product removal, but not with a diamond, with a carbide bead of acrylic nails if they're like extremely thick. But the most common use for it is for pedicure. So we have online course which is called Electric File Manicure, which is the same as dry manicure. And then we have a class that we launched last year, eFile 101. The difference between them is that the first one is fully dedicated to how to work with the skin, how to do manicure, and eFile 101 is working with eFile in general. Product removal, acrylic and gel fills, we talk a lot about ceramic and carbide beads. So if you're just getting started with eFile and have no idea what it is, eFile 101 is definitely easier one to start with, and then you may proceed to electric file manicure. So electric file manicure includes natural nail anatomy, disinfection, sterilization, different skin types and how to work with them, men's manicure, manicure on damaged nails, regular thin skin, and so on. While eFile 101 is more like a basic one dedicated to eFile. We're talking about how to pick eFile, all you need to know about rotation speed, how to remove product on yourself and on your clients, simple fill, advanced fill, how to take care of your nail drill bits, and basic nail prep for extensions. Why dry manicure? I'm not saying that other kinds of manicure, such as traditional wet manicure, is bad. No, definitely not. That's just another kind. But for me personally, dry manicure works better just because most of my clients, most of the nails I'm working with, I'm doing extensions. And to me, it's just faster and easier to prep nails for extensions when you're doing it dry. Because cuticle softeners, they contain oils or fruit acids. And once you apply them, you have to clean the skin, everything underneath, all the grooves really well. If you do not do it or just do not notice it, that the product will not adhere very well. Is Russian manicure dangerous? Like any technology, it is dangerous. If the technique is incorrect, tools and beads are not suitable for dry manicure, such as the ones I showed you previously, or just using the, let's say, the green abrasive mark, or if it's used with extreme pressure on the nail plate. Well, there can be more reasons, but all of them are the idea of if you're doing something wrong. It's kind of the same. Is doing nail extensions dangerous? Is it harmful for nail plate? Well, generally it's not. But if you overfile the nail plate or damage it, then it may be. So it's up to you whether make it dangerous or make it something that actually is a great, safe, fast and convenient technique. So it is safe and fast if you're using correct beads, if you're adjusting the speed depending on the skin type, and if you do not apply too much pressure. If you will learn a proper technique and practice. Unfortunately, you cannot skip this part. Like, it doesn't matter how much you learn and watch YouTube videos and get inspired, and I'm super thankful for that. But if you do not take it into practice and do it with your own hands, you will not be able to do the same. But once you do, you can do anything, just trust me.